Hello, everyone. It is Monday, November 23rd. Welcome to another episode of Together San Diego. I'm Luis Cruz, Community Relations Director for the San Diego Union-Tribune. Joining me now is James Floros, President and CEO of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank. Jim, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me on. Good to see you.
It's always a pleasure. So I know you were busy pre-pandemic, and what is life like now, these last few, 9 or 10 months?
Yeah, I thought we were still in April. Somebody told me, no, actually, we're in November. We were feeding about 350,000 people before the pandemic. That number quickly changed, and now we're feeding nearly 600,000 people a month. It is crazy times for us, but I just can't be more proud of the way the San Diego Food Bank as a local organization, we pivoted, adapted, and now we're overcoming.
Yeah, talk about maybe what has been your biggest challenge that you faced during this pandemic?
Well, really, it's just the sheer volume of people in need. Prior to COVID, we estimated about 1 in 7 people, about 450,000 people were termed food insecure. That number is more than doubled. It could be 1 million people in San Diego County that are now food insecure. So we really realized, we have a great grassroots community neighborhood distribution model. We realized that that was pretty solid, but we needed to augment that, and we needed to really up our game a little bit. And plus, we're just distributing so much more food. I think the newest number is we've distributed about 37 million pounds just since the middle of March.
Wow. What new programs or services has your organization created?
Well, we came out of the gate hot, and phase one of the pandemic, which we had that phase one kind of put together within 72 hours of the stay-at-home order. So that was getting a lot of food out to our nonprofits. So we did about 700,000 pounds in just the first couple of weeks. Then we did some of those mass distributions that everybody saw in the media. I think you had some photos of those just now. And they served a purpose, but there's a reason why we don't do those, because they lack client dignity. And you can really only do like 1,000 cars at a time, but 4,000 cars show up. And so suddenly, we have 3,000 cars that are wait, but then they don't go home with food. And that's just as heartbreaking, and that lacks client dignity. So really, we went into phase 3, to your question, and that's our Super Pantry program, going back to our roots, back to what brought us to the dance. And it's a community-based approach. We took 35 of our 500 nonprofit partners, turned them into super pantries, which are high volume, high frequency distribution sites, strategically located throughout the county. And they have to do distributions at least 3 days a week. And we're just pushing as much food as possible through those sites. The other 465 other agencies that we work with, that's still up and running and functioning very well. And then what we did to support our agencies and help build their capacity, we actually did $20,000 capacity grants to each of those super pantries so that they could augment and build their capacity. So they bought pallet jacks and vehicles and refrigeration units, whatever they need to be able to really meet the huge needs. So we did over $1 million of capacity grants already to our partner agencies.
How would you say the face of hunger has changed since the pandemic started, or has it?
That's a great question. Before it was working poor, seniors on a fixed income, children living in poverty, active duty military. Now it's people who've never had to ask for help. People have always been able to be self-sufficient. It's heavy in the service industry, restaurants and bars, and so many people have been furloughed, have lost their jobs. So we now, like I said, we think we have about 1 million people could be food insecure. So many people that are struggling, and that's our job to step up to the plate and feed them. And our message is no shame in asking for help. That's what we're here for. That's what we signed up for. There's enough food for everybody.
Yeah, that's good to hear. The holidays are here. Every year, the Union-Tribune partners with the San Diego Food Bank for the holiday food drive. What can you tell us about this year's holiday food drive?
Well, you guys have been just fabulous, such great partners through the years, and we thank you for that. So obviously, holidays are tough. That's been our history. Tight budgets stretched even tighter, more hardship during the holidays, and that's why we've always done the holiday food drive. Well, this year's holiday food drive may be the most important yet, because one, we have more people in need, and two, we really, really need those food donations. In a typical year, we purchase about $1 million of food in the wholesale food market. In October, we had $8 million in food purchases just since the middle of March. That number should be about 10 million before December 31st. So those food donations have never been more important. On Sunday, we launch the famous food bag campaign that we do with Albertsons and Vons, where people, when they're shopping, can add $5 to their grocery bill, and we get about a really nice bag of food. That's our most requested item. So I would love if we could collect maybe 2 million pounds of food this year. So this holiday food drive, probably the most important one we've ever done.
That's great. So that's one way people can help for this holiday food drive. Are there other ways that people can help you?
Yes, well, a financial gift. I hate to say it, but money still reigns supreme. We're spending so much money now. As I mentioned, we'll be up to $10 million in food purchases, capacity grants, and all the things we've had to do to up our game. We've rented a fleet of trucks, that sort of thing. So SanDiegoFoodBank.org, make a financial contribution. We can take $1, leverage that into 5 meals. We have a virtual food drive where people can actually buy food on our behalf. And actually, kind of a cool thing about the virtual food drive, we can customize it for any individual, any company, any organization. We can actually put their logo in the virtual food drive, and they get a special link that's just for them, and they can send that out to their friends, family, colleagues, or what have you. We probably have about 250 specialized virtual food drives going on right now, and we're signing up more every day. That's a great way to be a great partner and be part of the solution. And of course, we always need volunteers in the warehouse. We're doing pretty well, but I tell people to keep checking back because we do get cancellations.
And in terms of volunteers, what sort of safety precautions are you taking?
Well, we were exempt from the executive order, so we've been here, day one. So we're exempt, our staff, all of our nonprofit partners, and our volunteers. And so we had to make sure that we had that workforce because our volunteers are really an integral part of our supply chain, but we had to protect our volunteers, and we had to really put the call out for individuals because all the corporations, businesses, they obviously had to shut down. So we took our shifts from 40 to 20. So we do social spacing, masks, gloves, hand washing stations, checking temperatures, all those things to safeguard our volunteers. We love family units because we don't have to do the social spacing because they live together. They came in the same car. So we love family units. But we have been doing pretty well. And on most days, we have 3 shifts a day.
All right. That's great. Good to hear. How can families in need get help from the food bank, and how can families get more information on how to access your services?
Well, that's a great question. Maybe the most important question today. SanDiegoFoodBank.org/get help. So that's SanDiegoFoodBank.org/get help. And people go on there and you see all of our distribution sites, all of our super pantries, all of our diaper sites, everything that we're doing throughout the county. We have 500 nonprofit partners. We have 200 distribution sites that we control, plus those 35 super pantries. So SanDiegoFoodBank.org/get help. You can find a distribution near your home, in your neighborhood, with complete client dignity, where everybody will go home with the food they need. So again, just go to SanDiegoFoodBank.org, and everything the food bank is doing is all right there.
Yeah, and that's also where you can find out more information on the different services that you provide. You were mentioning the Super Pantry program. Talk a little bit about that and maybe some of the other services that you provide.
Well, the Super Pantry is exciting, and that's just something that we, being local, we're very adaptive. Always like to, we're proud that we have our thumb on the pulse of the needs, so it doesn't take a long time for us to pivot. So the Super Pantry program, 35 sites, high volume, distributions at least 3 days a week. Those 35 sites are probably serving about 120,000 people a month alone. And as I mentioned before, we're feeding about 600,000 people through that. We also tripled the size of our mobile pantry to handle gaps in service in the backcountry. And so we're just doing a lot of work and buying a lot of food and just adapting to all the twists and turns of the pandemic. So far, so good. Another thing people don't realize is we are the regional diaper bank.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are suffering with food insecurity, if they have young ones at home, diapers are very expensive. And now you may have, young couples that maybe both had jobs and now they're both laid off and on unemployment. That diaper bill is probably pretty painful. So we have about 40 diaper sites throughout the county. Typically about 500,000 diapers a month. May was a record-breaking month for us. We distributed 850,000 diapers in the month of May.
Wow. Do you expect the food bank will continue to have ramped up services in 2021?
Yeah, from the very beginning, I mean, we said, well, okay, so if we had a vaccine today and COVID went away on Monday, we're going to have an economic downturn, at least for the next couple of years, maybe longer. We saw this during the last recession, so we're expecting increased need for could be for years. So we knew this from the very beginning. We've always said this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we will see augmented, increased services, increased food for the long term.
Jim, is there a message you'd like to send to our viewers here today?
Well, two messages. One is that there's no shame asking for help. That's what we're here for. That's what we signed up for. So really, if we stay together, stay calm, know there's enough food, know there's enough distribution sites, we stay calm, together, this community, we can weather the storm. So, there's a silver lining there. We'll get through this. And also, anybody can be part of the solution. Every little bit helps. Everybody can make a difference. Every donation goes a long way. So come on, San Diego, rally around your local food bank. Let's weather the storm, and we'll see the other end.
All right, Jim, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Well, I just really want to thank San Diego. It has been emotional and so heartwarming to see really how the community has rallied around us. $10 million in food purchases, over $1 million of capacity grants, and all the other things we've had to do to up our game. None of that is possible without San Diegans, supporters who have been very generous in making donations. We're raising a lot of money, we're spending a lot of money, but again, none of this work happens. We like to tell people this is not our food bank, this is their food bank, and they are investing in the quality of life in our community when they donate. So just a big tip of the hat. Thank you, San Diego, for supporting us.
Well, and thank you for everything that you do to help our community, Jim. Appreciate it.
Well, you guys are great, and you're doing a great job helping us get the word out. I saw we're in the Sunday paper. We love this ad that we do with you guys. So these things will be running all the way through the campaign. So a big tip of the hat also to UT. What a great community partner. Really appreciate all your help.
Thank you, Jim. Glad we can do our small part to help. Thank you, Jim Floros, President and CEO of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank.
Thanks, Luis. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you at home for watching. Have a great day, everybody.
San Diegans accomplish great things every day. We care about our neighbors and our community. We are proud of our diversity. We are resilient. We hold our leaders accountable. We live in one of the most dynamic cities in America, the San Diego Union-Tribune, telling San Diego's story for more than 150 years.